record. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple of things today. And one of the things we're going to talk about is my listing on Sand Street. So what was incredible about that is, thank goodness I had you there on Sunday, and thank goodness I had George there on Saturday because of the amount of people that came through. Had there not been 2 people at that open house, people would have just fallen through the cracks. There's so many people would have been missed. So thank you for being there and being available for that. So we had, let's talk numbers on Friday. So Thursday, I did door knocking to that little neighborhood, and 10 groups of the neighbors came in on Friday. So I did Thursday door knock, invited them over to a Friday VIP preview of the property, and they were very happy and thankful for that. So that's tip number 1. Do that when you have listings, even if it's just 10 doors that you knock that are around your listing, do it. It's worthwhile. Of course, people nowadays are kind of weird, right? When people knock on their doors, and specifically this neighborhood, because it's a vacation rental community. And I'm either running into tenants or homeowners that are not used to people knocking on their door. So when I knocked on the door, I did not stay right at the door. I made a point to be feet back, like 3 to 4 feet back from the door, so that if they're peeking out a window, they could see me from any window vantage point. So they know I'm not some weirdo or anything like that, or a creep. And I had my flyer in hand, so they knew I had something for them. So like I was some solicitor, and I just said, I knocked on the door, they opened the door, and it was like, hi, you're invited. I'm the realtor listing the house next door or down the street, and I wanted to personally invite you to a neighbor VIP open house on Friday. And they were like instantly disarmed. And so it was really nice to be able to connect with some of them that way. And then they showed up on Friday, and then, having more of a community feel and conversation with them. So it was really nice to be able to do that and make that connection with some of them. And I also let them know ahead of time, when I was having the conversations with them on Friday when they came in, and once we do have this sold, I will be coming back around either in person, and I think I said in person, or mailing them. I think I said it was going to be in person. Now that I think about it, I should go in person and give them a hot sheet and the sold MLS printout of what the house sold for. So that way they know what their property values are, around, based on that sale. And so they were very appreciative of that information. They're like, oh, thank you for doing that. So there's that. So that's 2 tips right there, right? Because some of them, one of them even told me, well, we've kind of been thinking of maybe downsizing, blah, blah, blah. So you never know, right? And then because they're friends and neighbors with the other people on the other side of the streets, you never know, they can have those conversations and say, oh, you should talk to this realtor. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but it's good effort putting out there. So I did that. And then Saturday, we had 29 groups come through, and Sunday, 42 groups of people came through. That is a whopping number of people, 42 groups of people, averaging out about 2 people per group, right? Some were a lot more, some were singles. They were mostly 2 or 3, even maybe some of them were even 4 groups, for people, but averaging out about 2 people. That's a lot of people that came through, and was consistent. I would say we didn't really have any downtime, not too much.
Not at all.
I mean, you had enough time, and so did I, to like put some little snacks in our mouth and to like drink the water really fast, and that was it. But okay, so all that to say, I think the house was priced right because it drew enough attention for that many people to come through. Granted, it's a touristy area. Some people they didn't look like they were actually just coming straight off the beach. I think people intended to come to that open house. It's priced right, like I said, so a lot of people came through, but I expected some people would do cash offers. I expected some people to do offers with loans. So that's why I had an offer deadline of Tuesday at 5 p.m. Well, Monday came and went. I had nothing. And I thought, okay, well, people will know it's Tuesday and people are going to get their loans situated on Monday and submit on Tuesday. Well, Tuesday at 2 o'clock, when I had the original deadline, I'm like, oh, crickets, nothing. I started freaking out a little bit. And then I changed it and I had in there that we'll be reviewing at 5. And then 5 o'clock came around and still nothing. I was like, oh my God, I don't have any offers. Oh my gosh. I was really kind of freaking out. Like, whoa, what is the deal? And then you and I had a conversation about it. And you were saying you heard a lot of people saying it needed a lot of work. And I was thinking, okay, well, it did appear that the termite work would be significant, but it was only $4,000. And 4,000 is not a lot when you think about what you thought it might, need. I think the color of the house maybe doesn't help. It looks like it's old and dated. So, okay, there's painting that. Not a big deal, I don't think. But what I heard a lot more than it needed a lot of work was the windows. The windows are all single pane and windows are costly. So maybe, and that house has a lot of windows. So maybe that is a big cost to consider. And then I think at the time I did not have the pest report in. So that was like a feature I think people were holding back on. And then the sewer lateral. I want to talk about the sewer lateral. Oh my gosh. Sewer lateral, pay attention to, honestly, the only time I've ever really had to encounter sewer lateral was when I was working in Morgan Hill. And it was very organized. Santa Cruz County is not organized with their sewer lateral. And it's different for the county versus the city or the specific cities like city of Santa Cruz, um, city of any of the other Capitola or anything like that. So the cities and surrounding areas. So where my listing is not in the city, it's in the county. So it falls kind of in the cracks, right? So having an inspector, I found a list for the county from the county. And I found the company that I used is from San Jose, and they came out and they're an inspection company, but this inspection company says, oh, but wait, we do sewer lateral inspections. And for a much cheaper cost than a lot of the other ones. I was like, okay, here's where you get what you pay for, it comes into play. So sellers were willing to pay $295 for them to go out and give a yay or nay. Is it gonna, pass or not? And they said, well, we can go out, or we're gonna go out, but if actually, let's go back a little bit. I did have a local guy go out there and he said, look, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to cost $800 just for me to be able to do the inspection. I said, wait, why? I thought you said it was $250. He said, well, it would have been $250, but this house is old, so it doesn't have the right piping for them to even stick the camera down. So we have to fix that. And to do that, it's going to bump it up to $800. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm working with a trust, so I have to go through a bunch of people. And so they said, ooh, that's too much. See who else you can get. So I found this other person. Oh, and so I found this other person that said, we'll do it for $295. I said, okay. And trust said, okay, do it. So I had them go out and they said, yeah, no, we can't do it. We have to remove the toilet to be able to get and add this little something on there from 3 inches to 4 inches. And it'll add another $350. So I'm like, okay, it's less than 8. Trustees are like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Had them do it, got the report, got the video, it failed. Okay, that company says, we're going to send this out to get estimates to repair so we know how much it's going to cost. Well, I am waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's over a week now. I'm at a week and a half waiting. And I said, hey, company, I was really excited that you got a chance to do the inspection, but now I'm feeling deflated because you still don't have an estimate for me. And this can be a significant cost. What's going on? And they said, well, and I said, and I expect to hear from you today because I have a very wide social media outlet that I would love to give you a 5-star review, but right now I can't. I'm feeling very disappointed. And I said that for a bunch of reasons. I said that because social media, reviews, I'm going to give you a horrible review if you don't give me some update. And so I didn't have to say that, but it was between the lines. And so then they got back to me right away saying, oh, we're so sorry. You know, we're just having such a hard time getting somebody with the right license. I'm like, what do you mean the right license? And they said, oh, because we have to go under the street to get you an estimate. I'm like, what? It doesn't even make sense. So I said, well, here's the list of people I could have selected. Why don't you just call one of them to get you the estimates you need? And they said, oh yeah, we've already done that. We need a specific license. I said, what kind of license? And they said, we need the, hang on, oops. We need the Class A license or something like that. And then I said, okay, so I went to online California State Contractor Board and I found the type of people who have that license in that zip code, my zip code over there in Aptos, and only 3 people popped up. And so I'm like, okay, here you go. Here's these people. They might be able to do it. I'm trying to be as helpful as I can to this company that should know what they're doing. And they said, oh, hey, whoa, like we've already been down this road. We've tried them and we're still waiting to hear back. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I called the county. County sent me to Santa Cruz sanitary district. So I called them. The lady was really helpful. And she said, oh, here, you're going to want to talk to this guy. He's the one that does all the video sign-offs. And I said, okay. She goes, well, you're going to get his voicemail. So leave him a detailed voicemail. So I did. Told him everything. He called me back within maybe 20 minutes. Great guy. Super nice. And he gave me the lowdown on everything. He says, first of all, I don't even see that company on our list of approved inspectors. I was like, wait, what? They were on the list. I got this list from the county, blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, there's a couple different lists, but I can tell you right now, the ones that do the videos, this company is not on that list. And I was like, okay. He goes, now, does it mean that they can't be? There's just a process that they have to do. And I said, okay. He goes, I'm going to send you an email with instructions of the process. And I have a supremely detailed email from the sanitary district in Santa Cruz to the inspector and said, hey guys, can you guys do what he needs you to do today before 5 p.m. because he's going on vacation tomorrow for a whole week. So even if you get the video in today, the district has 10 days to review it. And then they'll say, yeah, you need to do this, that, or the other, or it's good. And whatever they say, he gave me another list. The district guy gave me another list of people that can do the work or can give me an estimate. And he basically made it sound like local people. He says, now we're not saying that these locals are the only ones that can do it. We're just saying these are the ones that we have worked with and have been able to get approvals from us. I'm reading between those lines. Don't get anybody from outside the area to do the inspections if you don't have to. So stick with local people as much as you can, as best as you can. So that was kind of a lesson learned. And so what does that mean? That means, oh, and I asked about the transfer of responsibility. Can the sellers transfer the responsibility of the repair to the buyer? Yes, there's a form for it, but everybody has to be agreeable to it. And all of the contact information needs to be on there, emails, phone numbers. If anything's missing, they will reject it. And the county, so that form has to be signed, filled out, given to the county, get the stamp of the approval from the county, and then got back to us, give to the buyer, hey buyer, here you go. Now you have 90 days to do it after the close of escrow. And if you don't do it, then the county will impose fines and fees, etc. So it's kind of a rigmarole and it's a lot to jump through, but I mean, even though I'm hoping for like a cash deal and close on day 20 on, on the 25th of June, that can't happen just because of the sewer lateral thing now. So there's that. Yeah, fun stuff. Hi, George. Thank you so much for being there on Saturday. We had a ton of people go through.
Yes, sorry, my dog started going at it with
That's
another.
okay.
But yeah, I liked it. It was a really nice listing. Liked being there.
It was
Good.
super cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was in there.
Oh, wow. 42 groups came through.
Wow.
I know.
We were
I know.
busy.
Crazy.
I know. I was really hoping one of you two would be writing up an offer.
Maybe
There's still time. I mean, well,
Yeah.
okay, wait. So Michelle started out by asking me, so did I get any offers? Because I was already freaking out. By the time I text both of you, I was like, do you guys have any offers? Because I have none. And so I did receive an offer today. It's good. It's a really good offer. It could be a lot better. But I did submit it to the trustee and we'll see. They're having conversations about it, the trustee and the heirs. And I did change the remarks in MLS to reflect that it's now offers will be reviewed as they're received. So there is another agent who sounds promising that maybe she'll write an offer this evening, I'm hoping. And I did let the sellers know that. But if anything, we're going to counter whatever offer we do have right now and at hand. So there's still time. If you guys have
Mhm.
anyone you want to write up or bring in, that would be incredible.
I think the majority of ours had agents, from what I recall. That I got a lot of voicemails. I didn't get to talk to a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, the only one that answered me was a 1031 exchange in Turlock, but
Oh, interesting.
she said she saw multiple houses that day,
Uh-huh.
and it sounds like they do have the 1031 because their numbers are their days.
Okay,
are
I
ready.
remember that couple. Mhm.
Yeah, and so she says she's ready to talk to so many different agents, and I just said, okay, well, just so you know, I can go both ways. I'm in the Central Valley, and also I could do over there, and she appreciated that.
But that's good.
But she was very kind of short because she's a businesswoman, you could tell.
Oh, okay.
So, but at least I got that.
Yeah, no,
But
that's good.
yeah, and other than that, that just a lot of voicemails.
We'll
And,
keep dripping
I'm
on them.
gonna
You
keep
never
trying.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep dripping on them. Send them a hot sheet for the area. Everybody on the list that you have,
A lot of the emails they wrote in cursive.
you can't decipher them.
Trying to see how they wrote or what. Nobody was
Uh,
there. They were like fast or they didn't put.
Yeah. See, okay, so this is a lesson learned, right? When we have properties that don't have Wi-Fi, have a MiFi or have a hotspot or have a jetpack. I still need to get one. I still don't have it.
But
So
see,
the
I
only
tried my
one,
hotspot. It didn't work. Remember?
yours didn't work for some reason. And even your music didn't work, but George's worked. Jorge's worked. We had music. Had he had one of those touchpad things, that would have been great. That's
For
next
the
on
KB
our
cord. Yeah,
list.
because right away it's gonna ask them if they have an agent
Yeah.
and everything is legible. They have to go
Yeah.
through the process to get to the next page.
Yeah. That would have been incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe some kind of streamlining for the paper sign-in sheet. I mean, thank God you printed yours out, so that was good.
I grabbed something real quick in the morning. I need to personalize and make a better, find a better open house in case my, electronics don't work.
Right.
We
So
have
Michelle, you missed it. You're probably gonna have a super busy open house on Saturday.
Mhm.
We had 10 groups on Friday, 29 groups on Saturday, and 42 groups on Sunday.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. That's crazy.
It was so be organized, have a system to try and collect everybody as they come through the door. I mean, we had like 4 people right out the gate on Sunday,
Yeah.
and it was just nonstop. And I think Saturday, there was just a handful of times where George and I actually had a couple minutes to chat, and then people just were coming in. So yeah, it was busy.
Okay.
And
I have
it
I
was
have my
people,
iPad.
oh,
Does
good.
that work?
You better have a hotspot or a Wi-Fi. If you can connect
I
it to
do.
your cell phone, maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
And
yeah,
then
because,
have the music downloaded on your phone.
oh, you
That's how it
did? Oh,
works.
Okay.
have the music downloaded.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
My hotspot didn't work.
it was AT&T or Verizon
Okay.
didn't work.
Oh,
Okay.
But
I have
yeah,
ATT. I have written ones too. So
okay.
okay, I'll take my paper.
Yeah, good.
I
Cool.
personally thought
Exciting.
your house showed well. I liked that. I was telling Christina it didn't smell like an old house. Only on the living room side, I smelled a little bit like older, But in the kitchen area where we're hanging out, it was very clean. Of course, you could see the damaged wood, but you live by the beach, so the sea air deteriorates things.
Yes.
And obviously, the termite report was very minimal compared to they probably thought it was a lot of termite,
Mm-hmm.
but it was probably more the sea air that was deteriorating the wood. Like
Yeah.
it's natural.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I thought even, it's functional and it's super cute. I mean, but it has to be somebody,
It's
uh,
unique. It's
you
very,
need
very unique.
somebody with not a lot of things because there's no garage.
Yeah.
But yeah, the storage upstairs. So Michelle checked the storage because it took me till the
I'll do a
time.
rundown with you.
I didn't
Yeah.
see the storage, but
Right.
you know,
Sewer laterals an issue. Yeah, Michelle, Rico, I will go over a lot of the things with you before the day before. That way you have it all fresh. Yeah.
Okay.
And so anyways, yeah, I just wanted to go over how all the rigmarole is with Santa Cruz and sewer lateral. And I thought we were ahead of the curve with inspections on that, but seeing how the inspector I chose was not really the right one, now I'm gonna have to try and like patch fix what they did and see if they can get what I need sooner than later, but it's not gonna be probably for another 7 to 10 days before the county can even look at it. And that's if that inspection company updates what they need to tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see how that part goes. But another thing I wanted to share, I'm going to share my screen. Let me find, what am I going to find? I have so many windows open. We'll move us over here. Quite a few things. Oh, let me first go here. So EXP has the new buyer representation forms available. Did you guys all take a look at that or see any of this? This just came out this week.
no.
Mm,
Okay, so we're going to take a look at this really quick. I thought it would be fun. You kind of saw this before, right? Buyer representation toolkit. And I will send you guys this link. What I want you to make a point to do is click on anything that has an underscore under it because it's a clickable link, right? And it'll either move you to the next page or you can print that page for a preview as it's showing you there. Or you can go straight to buyer's representation training, seller's resources, essential forms. If you go to the representation training, guess what? There's a video here. Click it or click this here where it says watch the video. Very good information. Lots of details in that information. They have a listing presentation you can, and a lot of this might seem familiar to you because we went over bits and pieces of this a couple of months ago, but they've revised it since then, and they're probably going to be revising it again. So as many times as you see it pop up like, hey, here's the thing, look at it just to be sure you don't miss what they're adding in there. And when I say they, I mean EXP. So you definitely want to make sure to do that. And they have information for sellers. There's a whole playlist of videos from Leo Pareja about the unpacking of the settlement. Then you have the forms, the single property form. This is going to be, this is what EXP is going to want you to start using. This is for when you are showing people an open house, when you are showing people a property. If let's say you have a Zillow lead and they want to go look at 123 Main Street, you're going to have this with you to before you open up that house because it's going to talk about having to do this. And if they don't want to sign it, then you can't open up the house for them. This is just one of the things you're going to have to start doing. This is just single property, one-time showing buyer broker representation. This
I
is
use that for my new construction, just so you know.
yeah.
My new construction to sign that.
Yes, you did. Good. Good. Yeah. No.
How
Yeah.
long do we have to hang on to those for?
Ooh, that is a great question.
So I put
Uh-huh.
90 days on mine.
Oh, thank you. Yes. 60 days for a showing for any of the BRBCs, 60 days. And for the listings, because there's a rider for the listings, and that's going to be 90 days for the listings. So every 60 days, you're going to want to revise these. And for the one, let's go back. for the one that is for the BRBC, the EXP version of BRBC, the buyer agreement, that one is, oh gosh,
You can make that one as long as you want. It can be,
no, you can't. That's
Not
the
nothing?
one, they don't want you doing it longer than 90 days. I'm
oh,
sorry, this one can only be 60 days. This one here, the EXP buyer broker representation cannot be more than 60 days. So if you're going to want to do one of these for your client that is looking at, if they're looking at everything under the sun, have one for residential, have one for land, have one for commercial, have one for new construction. And then just renew them every 60 days, every 60 days. Because why? You want to make sure that they have the impression and the peace of mind that they are not locked in, they are not stuck. Because EXP is all about transparency and wanting to be for the consumer, this by saying, look, we're only going to do 60 days. If, and you know, at the end of that time, you will know the value that I bring to the table, and we'll continue to just re-update these every 60 days. But I hope to find you a house before 60 days. But if you can't find them a house within 60 days, then you're going to have to renew it. And also hopefully show your value that they're agreeable to renewing it. So yeah, this is new. All of this is new here. So you can see collecting broker fee from the seller, credit to buyer at closing. Buyer may choose to negotiate that the broker fee be paid in whole or in part by the seller through a seller credit. At closing, at buyer's instruction, broker will write this request into the buyer's offer to purchase the property. And direct seller to broker compensation. Buyer authorizes the broker, EXP, to request that the broker fee be paid in whole or in part by the seller to broker, EXP, at closing. It's not anymore where the listing agent is going to split it to the buyer's side. We can't say that anymore. So you have to use these from this point forward. So even though it's not amended and in law yet, EXP wants EXP agents to start using these now. And once it goes into effect on the 17th, then if you have a listing or you're representing a buyer on August 17th, from that point, you absolutely have to have these. There was questions about, is there going to be a grace period? Probably not. No, because it's that important that they don't want any room for anybody to sue anyone. So just start getting familiar, read these line for line, word for word. Let me know if you guys have questions about them, but use them. So I just definitely wanted to make sure you guys had these, and I'll send the attachments of these as well. So that way you guys all have them. And then social media templates that you can use. These are also available that you can click on. Like if I just wanted to click on it, it takes you straight to where you can go into Canva and you can download the template, and then you can input your information on here if you wanted to. So this is really, really, really detailed. I really want you to, oh man, I only have 10 minutes left and so much more to go through. I really want you guys to take a look at that. Again, it's going to be, whoops, right here, the buyer representation toolkit, and I'll make sure I copy all of this and send it out to you guys. I only have 10 minutes left, but the other thing I wanted to show you guys, well, I'll have to do it next week. Next week, I'm going to show you guys how to input a listing into the MLS. And one really cool thing I found today was a reverse prospect tool in MLS. Michelle Vargas, you've had listings. Have you used this part in, oh, you don't have our MLS.
but I do see it on my MLS at the bottom. No, I see it when I'm saving a client, like creating a client portal. It asks me if I want to do reverse prospecting. I've never selected it because I don't know what that means.
Okay. So you kind of have an idea of it. So when you have a listing, Michelle Rico and George, you guys are going to go into your matrix. You're going to go to your search, dashboard. And then for me, when you have your listing, you're going to go straight here, my listings. you're going to click on my listing and it pops up right here, reverse prospect. I'm clicking on it. Wow, look at all these. Ooh, that's a lot. What it is these are all agents on the left-hand side. All these little numbers you see right here, like 35876, these are their clients. It shows me a reference number for confidentiality, right? So Dorothy Coulter, her client reference number 35876 has 731 searches going out to her. I don't know if those are properties that I have had that she, not just mine, right? She's received 731 emails because Dorothy put her on a list. So when you guys put your people on a list and somehow they come across, or in that list, they were emailed a property that's yours, like mine was emailed to all of these people's, all of these agents' clients. And so what I'm doing now is I'm going into each one saying, hi, Hannah, and I have a little blurby like your client reference number, blah, 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 was looking at my listing, this one here at Rio Del Mar. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'm sending that off.
That's awesome.
It's so cool because I have that available to me. But the reason why I found it today was because I received an email from an agent who did that, who one of my people received that agent's information in their portal. And so she was reaching out to me, and I think it was actually, because I set myself up on a lot of different searches for my clients. So I received it under my name, but she thought it was somebody else because she didn't pay attention. But yeah, so FYI, I thought that was a really, really cool tip. But all of these agents who have clients that are looking, that received my Sand Street listing, some of them I recognize because they were either pulling the disclosures that I have in HomeLight, or they were there, or they emailed me or called me or texted me about sand. But there's a ton of them in here that I haven't heard from. So I don't think that they've even heard from their clients. So that's kind of cool, because sometimes we create searches for clients and then they kind of disappear or go away. But this is one great way. Once you get a listing, you can see who it's getting sent out to. So it's
I'm
really
gonna
kind
check
of cool.
mine on my Metro list now. I'll go and see how
Go
mine does.
check it out. See, and how I found out was I just did a search in my search bar, like up here in like in my little MLS search bar, and I just said reverse prospecting, and it popped up a whole bunch of how-tos, and here's my how to reverse prospecting your listing. So I'll send this little link out to everybody here too. And then that'll be fun to take a look at. So next week, I'm going to show you how to put a listing in, and then how to use HomeLight also. That's another platform to use. But it looks like we only have 5 minutes left. So let's hear from you guys. I've been talking so long, but I thought all of this was pretty important for you guys. Let me stop share. Okay. What else? What do you guys got? Nothing? Michelle Rico, we haven't, thank you for showing up today.
I knew you were gonna do
I'm
that.
gonna call on you. Heck yeah. That's my favorite thing to do.
I get those emails too. And I was wondering what it was and why they were contacting me. And they're like, your client viewed my property and sending me, and I was wondering what is that? So I was looking into it as well.
Oh,
figuring
good,
it
good,
out.
good. And were you able to,
I
put in
set
your
it up.
number and find out which client it was?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so
I
the
didn't. I
instructions
just
I
figured-
have,
uh-huh.
the instructions I have supposedly show you how to figure that out.
Okay,
I didn't get that
that'll
far
be-
yet, so I'll send it.
that'll be interesting. Yeah. Well, I have tomorrow off, so I was gonna get in touch with you with as far as the open house and stuff, and I want to finish my presentation that I started last year, and I got all the slides in. I even got the little bubble with me talking, down on the bottom, and I'm talking, but I don't like it, so I've erased it like 10 times, so I'm still trying to work on it. So I'll work on that this weekend and the open house. But other than that, everybody's putting everything off. They keep saying, "Oh, not yet. The divorce didn't get settled." So I spoke to her today. So we're still waiting on that. The mama had her baby. She's starting to look. I'm seeing her get in the search portal and she's like starting to look, so her baby's about a month now. So there's that one. My sister's in there every day. It's irritating. It's like, make up your mind. She doesn't know if she wants to stay here or go to Merced. So she wants to buy and then she wants to sell hers. So there's a lot of things, but they're like far off, nothing right now. So I was wondering, like with Alicia, that one lady, you remember the one who's far away, the one who is really picky about latchkey. She, well, I'm probably not even gonna really take her seriously, but I was wondering, if you're putting somebody up on a search portal, do we need to have something signed, or can we have a search alert set up for them and just let them go? And then when they want to start looking at houses, that's when we have them sign, right? So she's good. I can't use that as an excuse to pin her down or anything. You've got 5 or 6 people working for her. I know she is.
You've had quite a few conversations with her already. I would try and pin her, with her specifically, I would try and pin her down because think about it. You're too new into it to know you don't want to waste your time, because right now everybody seems like a viable prospect, but are they? I mean, if you have no one else and you don't mind, because it's also a learning tool also, right? Doing all the searches and learning all the things. You could do it. You could just put her on the alerts and then let her searches do the talking for her. If she's opening a lot of the ones that you're sending her, then have the conversation with her about selecting someone and the benefits of it. And this is where the scripting and the practice of why is it a benefit for her to stick with one realtor versus multiple. And if she wants to stick with multiple, that's fine, but let's have her sign one for the ones that she does want to take a look at in person. Of course, you're definitely going to do that before you show her one. So
yeah, she's very, if I don't answer, I called her back. I missed her call and I answered her. I called back probably 4 minutes later. She was already going to call the listing agent. She's like,
yeah, no,
if you don't get right back to me, I'm just going to call the agent. She's like, you need to be on top of this. And I was like, okay, like I have a life, lady.
yeah, no, I mean, and NAR says that all the time. You have to have that response rate needs to be on point. Usually like 1 to 2 minutes is
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did. Okay.
Seems extreme,
Well, good
but that's
luck.
the game.
Good luck this weekend before it cuts off.
Yeah, good luck.